Good evening and welcome back to the APPF1 Tier 2 for tonight's dose of racing action. After a week away, I'm glad to be back to bring you the finale of the Tier 2 season. We've had quite a finale ahead of us, with this race being the chance for Haras to steal the championship, with our current championship leader Jackalacco missing out on the final round. We saw last week Ferrari wrap up the Constructors' Championship, becoming the first Constructors' Champions of the Tier 2 Championship. I said a championship a lot there. Speaking of last week, tonight I'm joined alongside two-time sprint champion Ghost 272, Tier 2's co-commentator as we finish one season and on into the next. How are you, Ghost, and what do you think of the Tier 2 season up to this point?
Hello. It's been pretty good. It's been great to watch from the sidelines. It was excellent race to commentate on last week. And I'm happy to be here with you for the finale. It's been a season of very exciting races, it has to be said. You can't get a boring race in Tier 2.
No, we've had lots of safety cars, lots of on-track action. If we can't forget Italy in the pre-season. But we move on from that. Tonight we head to USA, to Austin, Texas for the race around the Circuit of the Americas. This circuit was introduced in the epic season that was 2012 for Formula One and saw drivers around a 5.513 kilometre circuit that features corners that may be familiar to some. We could see some exciting racing here. What are your thoughts on the Circuit of the Americas, Ghost?
It's a tricky circuit. It looks like a fairly innocent track, but there's a lot of places that can catch you out. As we were discussing before the stream, it's Sector 1, you can have a sort of a mediocre lap through Sector 1, but you'll lose 5, 6 tenths on what you could do. It's somewhere you can gain or lose so much time, and it's going to be tricky for our drivers to see if they can get the perfect lap today.
Yeah, it's a track that really does divide both drivers and spectators alike, and hopefully tonight it can bring some incredible action. And that action is brought to you once again by the incredible Positive Perception Media Design Products, an amazing esports livery designer who you guys should be sure to check out over on Instagram. Now that out of the way, I'm a bit late today on the setup as I'm not hosting, so we're going to go into qualifying almost immediately, but we're already in it actually, so as I get the thumbnail sorted out. There we go. Boom, done. Thumbnail sorted.
I am sorted as well. Looks like Mitch is getting ready to start his first flying lap. And Tommy Alex has gone out on the inters, the cheeky guy.
He's done it every week this far. Every week for the last couple of weeks, I think. Right, let's ride on board with Mitch then as he starts his lap. So quite a braking zone, assisted by the uphill part into turn 1 here. Quite a tricky corner, especially last year if you were driving any of the classic cars and got on that outside curb. We're going to go straight into the twisty section now that's reminiscent of Silverstone. Easy place for the drivers to be caught out. Track limits will bite back here.
It certainly will. But looks like Mitch has hooked it up quite nicely so far. The track record around here was set in the APPF1 one anyway, was set in Tier 1 last week by AP, our very own league leader, with a 132.132 that came out of nowhere, surprised everyone on the grid.
A lot of drivers will be looking to beat that tonight, I think.
They're gonna have one hell of a job on their hands to beat that.
As Mitch comes right down to another heavy braking zone after the first of the two DRS straights on this circuit into a quite tricky and slightly technical Sector 3 now. A lot of tricky corners, especially this one here. It's kind of on camber here as you go to the middle, and if you get the traction wrong, you could be sent spinning around before this long right-hander that sweeps right round toward the final 2 corners. A lot of speed can be found through here. Let's see if Mitch can do it. Oh, one's a little bit wide. I think he could have got on that apex a little more there.
Yeah, he did not do that corner too well, but he's coming across the line now. It's a 33.1, so
a little bit of a scrappy lap there.
Yeah, it was a bit. Second to last corner, he'll definitely be looking
Let's
at.
see about Emiliano. Can he make any improvement on that lap? No, he's on it. He's already starting a lap. That's why, or he invalidated perhaps.
Yeah, he invalidated, I think.
Is that a Red Bull going yet? RJ Blair matching the pace. Very close.
Sonic on the medium.
Not a great lap from Sonic there. He can definitely be looking to improve. Rick's out for his first hot lap of the session. How about QB? No, I was looking at a face. It's actually 33.4.
Harass has also come out on the inters.
Try to conserve tyres, perhaps. I don't know. I feel like it's more beneficial to go out on the actual quicker tyres.
Yeah.
As you can actually get a feel for the track rather than sort of going out on horrible tyres that are not suited to the conditions at all.
I can understand setting a slow lap because it does feel good to have a green delta in the top right for your whole lap. It sort of, at least for me, it makes me drive a bit faster.
Yeah, I do find myself looking at that delta a lot and sort of being like, oh, I'm not slow enough. Oh, my fault. You know, I'm not slow, not quick enough even.
Yeah, you're not slow enough, Sumo. You need to be. You need to be slower.
Talking of slow drivers, I'm watching Taylor go round in the third sector here. As he attacks these final two corners here, looking to try and get himself up onto provisional pole position. Let's see what he can do as he comes round the final corner. Not quite. He's going to put himself up to the P5. His teammate is just behind him, Bluey. He's going to slot in him to P6.
Not too ideal from the two Aston Martins, but as we saw in Baku, I think their job today is just to reach the checkered flag and hope for the best. And it certainly worked for Taylor last week. He had a very good race in the end, despite a qualifying he might have been a bit disappointed with, but he didn't make any mistakes and everyone around him did, and he ended up in the top 5, so maybe we'll see a repeat of that today.
That's it. Rick's managed to put in a lap, but it was invalidated, so he's going to have to come around again. It looks like he might be on the attack again. He just sets a purple sector 1. Coming around. Obviously, Constructors' Championship wrapped up for Ferrari, but it's all Jackalacos to lose tonight, so Rick will be looking to get some good points for the team anyway, and hopefully beat her face's arm to P3.
Interesting statistic from this season is that Harass and Jackalaco, the two championship protagonists, have exactly the same average qualifying position. They both have an average position of 3.83 this season.
Wow.
Which is by far better than anyone else, but it's just crazy that they're both exactly the same going into the last race.
What baffles me is that Jackalacco has managed to go an entire season without winning a race and be the championship leader. It's an incredible stat to go. I don't think anyone's ever done it.
They haven't, no. It's one of the things with the point system in this league. It rewards consistency. You don't have to win races. Oh, and Rick gets a
little squirmy
slide out the last corner.
Yeah,
but
that would have lost him a couple attempts.
Yeah. Still goes on provisional pole for now though, and little wiggle of the steering wheel in celebration.
Yeah, we're going to come to the end of the first runs now. I'm sure drivers will be coming out looking to start their second runs. Is that Sonic? He's backing off there. He improves a little bit on his lap time there. Not by much though. I think it only chucks him above the two. No, it wouldn't chuck him above the Aston Martins. He would have just been dropped down by Rick.
Yeah, it was a slight improvement, but he's going to need to find 9/10 to go any higher in the positions. Although he is on the medium, so we'll have to see if he comes back out on the softs again, or if he calls it a day and starts on those.
Well, he is the highest positioned and the only driver to set a lap time on the mediums at the moment. So
Emiliano, the only other driver on the mediums, and he's on an outlap, so we'll have to monitor how he does when he comes across the line.
Emiliano's had quite an unlucky season this season. I think he's been sort of up and down with the races. He's been struggling to finish a lot of them, so hopefully he can have a strong end to what has been a bit of a tumultuous season for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Emiliano is not a slow driver by any means. He's just struggles to reach the checkered flag. He's finished 2 races this season. How many did he compete in Tier 1? He competed in 5 races in Tier 1. He had a go, but he hasn't finished any of them. So it's just reaching the checkered flag that's his problem. But as the experience comes, he'll get better at that.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully we see Emiliano on the grid again for the next season, which starts next week. We're not having any breaks. We had a delay in one of the races after a serious glitch at Abu Dhabi as Emiliano invalidates this lap time here, so he'll be as he's out lap, so it won't matter too much. But yeah, hopefully we can see a lot of the guys return for season 2, as we've had quite an exciting one in Tier 2.
We have indeed. Hopefully we can get a big grid consistently. Oh, Emiliano, he's into the wall.
Oh, I missed that. I was riding on board with Hephaestus, but that is unfortunate for Emiliano. Let's see
He
if I
just
can
got on the power too
catch
early
the
out the
Red
last
Bull.
corner.
Oh, there he is. That's Emiliano. That is a shame for him. Is that terminal? Yeah, he's terminal damage. That is unfortunate for Emiliano.
I think I cursed him, Sumo.
Yeah, I think you did.
Mitch is up on his previous lap. He's 2/10 up out of Sector 2, nearly 3/10, so he's going to be going after Rick's lap now.
Yeah, I think Pommy Alex is now back on a reasonable set of tyres. But Mitch should be the first to set the second load of laps in this qualifying session. He's navigating his final 2 corners. Let's see how he does in the penultimate corner here this time. A little bit better. I think he still could have carried a lot more speed through there. You've got to be really confident to gain lap time through that section. But I think this could be provisional pole. There it is, provisional pole by 4/10. Rick's got some work to do.
I think most of that time was in that penultimate corner that he gained, because it really wasn't good in his first lap.
Yeah, that's it. He ran really wide there and was a danger of even invalidating at one point. I think Hephaestus is coming round to set another lap time. So let's see what he can do. Navigates the last corner well there. Activates the DRS up to second. That's not a bad lap time from Hephaestus. This could be a spicy fight between the Alpine and the Ferrari as we go further on in the session.
Certainly is. That's a great lap from Hephaestus to go up to P2, and we'll have to see if he stays there with that one, as people are improving across the track. Looks like TTV Max is coming over the line.
Let's see what Max can do. He puts himself up into P7, gets in between the 2 Aston Martins. Speaking of Aston Martins, we've got Taylor, who's invalidated his lap time coming round, but I think he'll be. This will be his lap time as we go along.
Here comes QB as well. He's on a new lap.
Well, Rick says he can go at least 1.6 seconds faster, he believes, so I'll be excited to see it, Rick, I really will. Bring it on, pal. Let's see what Pommy Alex does then, as he's invalidated, so one of our, resident Australian in Tier 2, going around to settle out. Another driver who's had a bit of an unlucky season, I think, Pommy Alex.
Oh no!
As he spins!
Sumo, what have you done?
Oh no! We've got one each now. At least it's not terminal. He's going to keep it going, so we'll have time to get back to the pits and set another lap. But yeah, not proving my point just there. Having an unlucky season is Pommy Alex. He obviously was leading the race for a little while during the pre-season race at Belgium, and then he lost it, and it all came tumbling down from there for the Australian driver. But he's been sniffing at the podium a few times. I think he's got a couple of podiums this season. I honestly can't remember. There's been so much going on.
He came second in France, and he's come 4th twice, but his other 2 races were DNFs, so he's been certainly up there when he does finish the race.
Indeed he has. I was also going to say about Hephaestus. Hephaestus had a bit of a few unlucky races this season as well.
Yeah, he has.
Definitely a contender. He got his first podium. I think it was his first podium with APPF1 at Austria, I believe.
Second one.
Second.
He did. He got a podium. Was it in Tier 1 Season 1, or was it in the sprints? I think it was the sprints. Sprint Season 1, he came 3rd in race 14. So.
Oh, there we go then. That's why we got the stats man on board.
But yeah, he's been very much in his element in Tier 2. I think he's been enjoying it a lot more than when he's been in the other formulas in APPF1.
Yeah, I think the sprints have been the sprints can be quite a beast in terms of on-track action. I think
Yeah.
Bluey's on a slow lap here. Yeah, he's on the medium tyres. He's backed off that lap. I think he's going to go again. Sonic, Sonic, interestingly, on a lap, but he's invalidated, so he'll have to go again as well.
Who else is on? TDU Max on an out lap. It looks like Rick is on a lap.
Let's see if he can go 1.6 seconds faster, as he claimed in the comment section.
He goes flat through 3, 4, 5, just about.
That was a nice camera angle I got through there. A nice low one. I watched him go through. It looks like a very tidy sector 1 from the Dutch driver.
It was tidy. He's about half a tenth down on his personal best, but there's plenty to gain.
It's going to come down. He might get a slight toe from the Aston Martin up ahead of him.
Oh, yeah.
We'll check back in with the Aston Martin of Taylor, who's invalidated, so we won't do that. Max is also invalidated. Bluey getting out of the way for Rick. So Rick will be the next to come across the line. Purple in the middle sector for Rick then, as he comes round the line. This will be his final lap of the session. He won't have time to get another one in. So this is all or nothing for the Dutch driver as he navigates this long right-hander. Flat all the way around here, and then quite a tricky braking zone, but if you get it right you gain a lot of time. He really attacks that penultimate corner there, coming around the final corner, getting a good drive, no slip, no invalidation, a little bit wide from him, but he goes on pole position. Very close. Mitch is on an out lap though, so he'll be looking to try and get an improvement on that. This is an incredibly close battle for pole position, but that'll be Rick's final attempt in this session. I don't think he's got much left in the tank.
That was an incredible Sector 3 from Rick. He was still about half a tenth down through Sector 2, despite it being purple on his personal best. But he gets to Sector 3 and absolutely smashes it. 3/10 better.
A few drivers opted for the medium tyres in this final stint here. Pommy Alex on the mediums now. QB just started a lap on the mediums. One's a bit wide at turn 1.
It's a decision of safety, I think, for those drivers. They're just sort of trying to keep it clean, get to the end of the race, and it looks like Harass is not going to be setting a lap today, so he's saving his tyres. Oh, as Mitch goes very wide, he just tried to commit a bit too much.
Yeah, that's going to cost him a little bit, I think. He hasn't managed to invalidate, but he's not too far down on his time. But I don't know if this is going to be good enough to claim pole position. I think that little mistake he's going to be kicking himself over that for sure.
Yeah, he lifted just enough not to invalidate, but I think the sector time will be deceptive there because he would have lost a lot of time through turn 7.
Taylor coming across the line, goes up to P5 in the Aston Martin. Is that Max? He is invalidated. Yeah, Taylor getting himself into the top 5. Rick.
Purple from Mitch.
Here we go, then he's throwing down the gauntlet then. Can Mitch dethrone Rick from that pole position? Mitch, new member of the community, has really come into the back end of this season and has thrown down the gauntlet to these pre-established drivers in Tier 1. Unfortunately, with having no previous appearances, he'd have a lack of points compared to everyone else. But this guy could be one to watch for next season. Oh, as he spins a little across the line, he manages to catch it, but that's going to cost him his attempt at pole position. So pole is Rick's unless anybody else can stop him. We've got Pommy Alex coming across. RJ as well, he might get impeded by that McLaren there. RJ, no improvement from the Red Bull driver.
Sonic is purple through Sector 2.
Oh, can Sonic in the Williams come through and steal pole position away from the Ferrari driver? We will have to see as he comes and navigates this final sector. I love that right-hand corner. It's probably my favourite corner on this track.
He attacked that penultimate corner. Round he comes to the final corner now. He hits the apex. No slide out of it. This could be good. It's only good enough for
No, only good
P5.
enough for P5. That is a shame from Sonic there. I think... Oh, Taylor improves up
Taylor's
to
on P4.
P4. Good lap from him. And that's it. That's
Nice.
your qualifying session. So, Rick in the Ferrari takes pole position for the final race of Tier 2 Season 1 around the Circuit of the Americas.
First pole position in APPF1 for the Dutch driver, so congratulations to him.
Yeah, many congratulations to young Rick there. So we got our grid for the race, which will be up with us very, very shortly. We got Rick taking his first pole position with APPF1, closely followed by Mitch, who is just 5 thousandths of a second away from his lap time there. So there was really nothing between the two of them. Mitch really going to be kicking himself there. Faistus rounds up the top 3 with Taylor and RJ Blair making the top 5. Sonic, TTV Max, Bluey, Pommy Alex and QBV finish off the top 10. Harass in P11, who didn't set a lap time, but he doesn't need to finish the race to take the. He doesn't need to win to take the championship. All he's got to do is finish the race with Emiliano with an unlucky DNF in qualifying, rounding up the back in P12.
Harass only needs to finish at P11. He's 10 points behind Jackalacco, but if he gets 10 points, then he will win the championship on countback, since he had a win in Bahrain and Jacko doesn't have any.
That's where that very unique stat will come back to bite Jackalacco there. This is almost the most nerve-wracking part of a race session. The start.
Yeah. The formation lap is horrible.
It just builds up and up and up and up.
It does. Want some stats on the formation lap, Sumo?
Yeah, go on. Stats, man. Let's hear it.
Alright, so in terms of laps led this season, do you want to have a guess at who has the most laps led, Sumo, this season out then?
It's a toss-up between Jacko and Harass, but I remember MX was also in the championship toward the beginning. I'm going to go with Jacko. Does Jacko have the most laps led? Probably not.
Jacko has 17 laps led. He's led 9 in Singapore and 8 in Abu Dhabi. He's only third. VKTFO, after leading every single lap in Azerbaijan, is second.
Wow.
He has 36 laps led. But it is Harass who has 42 laps led this season. Some in Austria, 1 in Singapore, and then a couple, well, more than a couple, but quite a few in France and Bahrain as well. So it's going to take some doing to knock him off that particular perch. And there's another stat for this season as well. Who do you think has gained the most positions on lap 1? Or out of all the races?
That is a good question. I feel like, Sonic has had a few moments this season where he's sort of jumped a lot of people on the start on that opening lap. I think I'm going to go with a safe bet for Sonic, but I could be wrong.
Well, Sonic's a good bet, but his terrible start in Austria is what's cost him in this particular stat. Because he lost 6 positions there, and that took a big hit to his total, of course. So it's got to be someone who qualifies not near the top every race. So it wouldn't have been the front runners. It's actually Pommy Alex has gained the most positions in lap 1s this season.
Wow, I thought that in my gut. I should have gone with my gut.
He has 15 in only 6 races as well, because he missed Azerbaijan. So Pommy Alex, watch him at the start as we come to the checkered.
Starting down in P9.
The line.
That's it. So the drivers take their grid slots. Then Rick lining up ahead of everybody else there. We are waiting very enthusiastically for those 5 red lights, waiting for the camera angle to change of course as well, as everybody lines up on the grid. Alright, here we go then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights for the USA Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. It looks like a good start from Rick as he gets away fairly well. But in the second phase of the start, Mitch is going to go and look up the inside line there. And they're going to go side by side into turn 1. The face is looking as well. Rick goes fairly deep and Mitch takes the lead at the first corner there.
RJ Blair's got a lot of closing speed as they come into turn 3. He's not going to make a move though. They're bumper to bumper to bumper through here, to use a line from Sweeney. Pommy Alex is fighting with Harass at the back as well.
It's nice to see a nice clean start from all the drivers there. Quite tricky to get through Sector 1 without any bumps and scrapes, but the drivers have done very well.
Harass right on the back of Emiliano near the back, and QB's looking to get in on the action as well. Very consistent driver.
Sonic having a look at Bluey.
Yeah, and Pommy Alex having a look as well to try and make up that place as Taylor right on the back of Hephaestus. He's going down the inside into this corner.
And then side by side right into the braking zone. Taylor's going to squeeze Hephaestus all the way across the track, and they're going to continue to go side by side. And the Red Bull event, TTV Max is looking to get involved in this action as well. Taylor swoops around the outside before getting to that horrible on-camber corner there. A great move from Taylor, very brave. Mitch will be looking to try and stretch his legs a little bit, but we've got a clear top 3 at the minute. Mitch, Rick and RJ as they start to stretch their legs from the guys behind.
Pommy Alex has spun out of the penultimate corner, and I shouldn't have mentioned anything about his lap 1 positions gained. Oh dear.
That is unfortunate for him. But we've got some tasty battles going on here. It looks like a 4-car battle for P4 at the moment, as Rick drops down to below a second for Mitch, so he's not going to be in good stead if come lap 3.
It looks like a similar scenario to the Tier 1 race last week, where AP just absolutely blitzed it in the race, and it was just a huge train of cars from P2 all the way down to, I think it was P5. And it's looking similar here with TTV Max right on the back of Hephaestus as well, who's shifting positions left, right and centre at the moment at the start of this race.
It's just the start we wanted to see. Looks like Sonic's just about starting to get himself up into this fight as well, so we'll be having a look. We'll be keeping an eye on the German driver as he tries to make up for some horrible races he's had this season.
It was a huge lock-up from Emiliano into, I'm not sure which corner that is, but the one after the long straight, as Harass is looking to get past as well. He only needs to finish the race with a bang.
Our only resident Kiwi, he'll be looking to get himself a good start as Emiliano loses it through the long right-hander. He's good to catch it as he gets into the gravel trap, but that is unfortunate for him. RJ Blair's got himself a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and Taylor looks like he's got himself up past the resident Yank. It's his home race, so he'll be looking to try and do well. And the faces, it looks, has he got a problem? Has something happened to RJ?
It doesn't look like he has damage, but maybe he just has, maybe he spun or went really wide and he's got overheated tyres and just being careful.
Perhaps he lost a lot of momentum from a little incident. Sonic gets his way past, so the resident Yank dropping from P3 down to P7, which promotes Taylor into the podium positions. But we've still got a long way to go in this race. We've only just got onto lap 3. Mitch is going to be looking to manage that gap between himself and Rick now.
Hephaestus up into P4. He needs to finish ahead of Rick to secure his 3rd place in the championship here, because just finishing 1 behind wouldn't be enough, since Rick would beat him on countback. So if Hephaestus can get fastest lap and finish 1 behind Rick, that would be enough, but it's going to be tricky with Taylor now between them. Taylor had a big impact on the championship race last week. Will he do the same again this week?
We'll have to see there for that fight for P3. Not too much action going on at the minute. There's a few gaps to keep an eye on. The Hephaestus still chasing after Taylor. He really does want to come after Rick and try and challenge him for that P3. and I'm sure he will. But I think this track is going to come down to strategy. I think the tyre wear around here is not the best. I like a lot of the tracks in this year's calendar, but I think the drivers will be torn between going for that 1 or that 2 stop, I think.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Sumo. We saw in the Tier 1 race last week, some drivers opted for the soft medium. They were helped out by a safety car, but it's not the optimal strategy. But if there's a safety car at the right time, we could see 1 or 2 drivers go for the soft medium 1 stop this race. But it's really realistically going to be a toss-up between the soft medium soft or the soft hard, and it will be interesting to see the strategy split from our drivers today.
Yeah, the hard tyres, they're not particularly great around this circuit. You need a fair amount of grip to navigate a lot of the corners, especially that Sector 1, and getting them warmed up can be quite the challenge. Sonic is looking to catch up to TTV Max. This is the closest on-track battle at the moment, and Harass is lurking in the background as well. He'll be looking to try and make a way through. One of our youngest members of the community, TTV Max, and he may not be the fastest of all our drivers, but when it comes to defending, there's one driver who I hate to try and get past sometimes.
Oh, sorry, Sumo, but Emiliano had a huge lockup. He tried to get past Pomi-Alex into the corner after the big straight. He had a massive lockup and went wide, and Pomi-Alex did a lovely little switcheroo to get back past again. As it looks like Harass has gotten past Sonic as well into the last corner with
that's
move
a
down the inside.
audacious send, but Sonic will be looking to go back at him. They've both got DRS, so Sonic will be looking to go and try and get that move done in that second DRS zone.
Emiliano's lost it again.
That's unfortunate for Emiliano. As long as he finishes the race, that's what we want to see from the driver, from the Alfa Romeo driver there.
It is indeed the only driver in APPF1 from Mexico, I believe.
Mm. Looks like Mitch is really managing that gap at the moment. I mean, he's not pulled too far away, but Rick has now got himself a penalty. That is going to really dampen his race.
It really is. It looks like the gaps are steadying out now as we enter the middle part of this race. But Harass is absolutely flying on those medium tyres as the softs start to degrade, and you'll see this quite a lot on this track. The harder compound tyres, they take a few laps to get going, but once they do get going, they can be rapid ahead of their softer compound rivals.
Although Harass has used a lot of his energy recovery system there, so we'll be looking to try and save a lot of it. He did that last week at in Baku. He used a lot of his ERS and ended up managing it quite well toward the last few laps.
It's look good to see that Rick has learned his lesson from last week as well. He's got 100% battery left. He knows he doesn't need to push here. He doesn't need to get past Mitch. He knows it's going to be a strategical race, and it's a very long race. So he doesn't need to battle at this point, and he's saving his ERS.
Harass having a look at the inside, is he? Or he's going to think better of that one. He gets very close to the back of young Max's car there, but they're going to continue to go through. This is inviting Sonic to catch right back up into this fight, so don't rule out the German driver just yet. Hephaestus has now got himself a 3-second time penalty, so it's back on equal terms between Rick and Hephaestus.
Yeah, he won't be happy with that. He'll have seen Rick's penalty and thought, maybe I can take advantage of that, but not anymore. Only if Rick gets a few more. But Mitch has very low on ERS already. He's only on 30% or so. Rick has saved his whole battery. Now he's using some overtake. But Harass right behind TTV Max now. Max has got quite a lot of ERS in the tank. He's not using it, but he doesn't need to, because even with DRS, Harass can't close with 0% left in the battery. Max leaves him room on the inside.
Very close. He's going to go around the outside. Very close between the two of them. No damage between the two drivers. That's fine. Is he going to dive down the inside of the corner? Yes, he is. That was a send and a half.
Max eventually pulls out of that one, but what a great fight between those two through the second sector.
Oh, that was an incredible bit of action there. Sonic looking to try and get past as well. Is that Max peeling off to the pits? Yes, it is. So he is going to bite the bullet first out of the guys toward the front.
Going to be interesting to see what tyres he goes on. Emiliano's gone onto the hards going to the end, and Rick has now caught up to Mitch. They're within a second of each other again.
TTV Max has switched to the hard tyres, so he's going to go for that one stop.
Hoping there's no safety car for him. It looks like Rick might have gotten another warning there. He had a bit of an oversteery moment through turn 5 or 6. But he's still right behind Mitch. But Mitch is just looking to keep it clean. He knows Rick has 3 seconds. He doesn't need to necessarily keep him behind, but it's always nice to have track position even if the car behind has a penalty, because you have no idea how fast they're going to be once they get past you.
Indeed, something else to keep an eye on as well. Taylor has slowly chiseled away at that gap to the top 2 there. He is just lurking in the background. Not got too much ERS, but that's not going to be too worrying in this opening stages of the race.
It's great to see him getting back up to the pace he had in the last game after a little bit of hiatus from league racing from the head steward, but he's back into it now, and he's trying to catch the top 2 if he can.
Speaking of the top 2, this could be where Rick decides to go for an attack here. We've seen Rick make some very brave moves throughout the course of the season, but Mitch is going to peel into the pit lane. So that interested to see if that undercut will work for Mitch. It is quite strong around here, if I do remember rightly. It's not a very long pit lane around this circuit.
I'll watch to see what tyres he goes on. He's going on to the mediums, so is he going for the 2-stop, or is he going to try and take them all the way? Take those 20 laps. We'll have to find out.
So this is hammer time for Rick as he navigates the first sector here. He goes purple in the first sector, actually. So this could be good for the Dutch driver. Mitch has come out in P6 behind Sonic there. He's about 10 seconds behind Sonic. Let's have a look at the gap. So he's got about 18 seconds. I don't think Rick is going to be able to come out in front, but it's going to be tight, I think.
It will be. It's going to be interesting to see if Rick does immediately respond to the pit stop from Mitch, or if he tries to take it out a bit longer so he can have an advantage towards the end of the race. As he goes a bit wide there, he's going to really not want to get another penalty, because that could cost him hugely, and especially with Hephaestus behind in P3 at the moment.
There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. That's RJ Blair. He's had a spin. He's managed to keep it going.
Perhaps vulnerable to Emiliano now, as that gap.
Yes, young Max is going to pit, not Max, Rick is going to pit into the pits then. Alright, well, we'll have to have a look. We'll keep an eye on Mitch as he comes around. We'll have to see. He's navigating the final 2 corners here. Really attacks that penultimate corner. Where's Rick in the pit stops? Is he coming? He's just making his way out now, so this is going to be very tight between the pair. Here comes Mitch. And he's going to jump Rick, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to jump Rick just as he's coming out. Rick's going to be a fair distance behind as well. It looks like he lost a lot of that gap he had originally to Mitch. And is now going to be on the look. But the one thing is, Rick has gone onto the soft tyres.
Yeah, it looks like they're both going to go for a 2-stop, but they're doing opposite tyres to each other. So I don't know if Rick has been told that Mitch has gone on the mediums and gone for the opposite, or if it's just a coincidence, probably the latter. But that gap is going to come down quite quickly in these opening laps of this stint. It will be interesting to see this battle for the lead, even with Rick's penalty. Hephaestus has dropped quite a lot in the pits. Did he have to take his front wing off, I wonder, or has he just been unlucky? I think he might have just been unlucky, because there's very small gaps between 6th and 7th and 8th, so and 5th. So I think he's been unlucky in the pits.
It's like team orders have come into effect to Aston Martin, or perhaps they are just battling. But Bluey has let his teammate Taylor past. Bluey knows Taylor is in this race for the long haul. Taylor must have come in as well, must have followed Rick in when he came for his stop. So I think our current our current provisional top three are Mitch, Rick and Taylor. Bluey helping him out along the way.
QB and Max having a little bit of a battle. QB went a bit wide there. He's... Oh, and there as well. Maybe he has damage. I can't see any on his car, but he's going wide at quite a few corners and going quite slowly. So, yeah, he peels into the pit, so I think maybe he has some damage.
Wherever the damage is, you can't quite see it. Oh, here we go. We got a little bit of a tussle. We got Bluey, Pommy Alex, and Hephaestus. The three-car battle as Hephaestus swoops up the inside of Pommy Alex. A great move from him, but they're going to go side by side, coming into the S's, and Hephaestus pulls out of that one quite wisely indeed.
Switchback move, but and Pommy Alex makes another mistake, so Hephaestus is looking to get past the McLaren, of course, on the superior tyre as well.
And it looks like Rick's on the attack on Mitch as well. He's only 2 tenths down. He's diving up the inside already. He's going to be very close to the back of the Haas driver as he's trying to break that slipstream. It's all kicking off here on lap 10. Mitch tries Mitch defends to the outside. He knows Rick's just going to swoop past him on those soft tyres, and he does.
And Hephaestus is down the inside of Pommy Alex as well, near the middle of the grid. He's got him on the straight. It looks like a pretty clean pass from Hephaestus. Pommy Alex, is he going to look to fight back with a switchback? Hephaestus locks. Bluey's gone wide, and Hephaestus gets him as well.
Oh, they're going to go side by side. Here. Bluey dives in on the brakes. Pommy Alex gets involved in this action as well.
Oh, he's pushed him wide, and Hephaestus...
A great little tussle between these three as they've navigated sector 3 there. We'll have to keep an eye on that, as I think they're going to continue this fight going on into the next lap.
Sonic on the back of TTV Max as well, but this is the battle to watch for P6 as Pommy Alex is pushed a bit wide by Bluey. Hephaestus needs to get past these guys. There's a bit of contact with Pommy Alex. I don't think he'll have any damage from that though, as they come onto the home straight.
Opens up that DRS, looks to the outside of Bluey as he defends to the inside. It's going to be quite an audacious move if he can get it done. Oh, he manages to stick it there and he stays there. He keeps his nose in and they go side by side through turn 2.
And Bluey had a bit of a moment which has allowed Hephaestus to get down the inside.
Sonic is out! Sonic is out of the race. Looks like he's spun on the final corner there. Wait, where is he? No, turn 2 even.
Turn 1.
Turn 1. I was looking at the wrong car. Safety car has been deployed, and that will put a dampener in the racing action. That is unfortunate for the German driver. That is really unfortunate.
That's going to be a big help for Harass. Is he going to come in now for the hards, I wonder, and go to the end of the race, because he knows that the cars behind him will have to stop again, other than Pommy Alex as well. So, and this is, again, just really not helped Hephaestus. He's been stuck behind Pommy Alex and Bluey. He needs to get past them as soon as possible. He hasn't done it, and now he's been punished for it by a safety car coming out at the wrong time. And he's going to be not too happy about that one, and he's far off Rick now in order to try and defend his P3 in this championship.
That's incredibly unlucky as Harass does peel into the pit lane. Then you see the Mercedes guys coming out. He's going to go into a set of soft tyres, surprisingly. So Harass going for that 2-stop. Maybe he can go medium, soft in this race, because he didn't use any of his tyres during qualifying. Perhaps the stewards might look at that. It is a little bit dodgy, but it's a bit of a grey area in qualifying at the moment. Rick has also come in, but Mitch has stayed out on his mediums.
Half the grid in.
Get the detail up for the tyres.
Looks like Mitch is the only one who's stayed out, who's in the top fights here. TDV Max also in. Hephaestus has gone into the hard, so there is the strategy I was talking about. I wonder if some of these drivers think they can take the mediums to the end, though. Rick will be thinking that. I think perhaps Taylor and Bluey will be thinking the same. And Mitch is going to be thinking, can I take these mediums all the way to the end if they're going to do it? But he's going to have 3 laps older tyres, and that will really cost him towards the end of the race, because the mediums, once they get into, start to fall off the cliff, you really lose a lot of pace on this track. They're pretty consistent for a while, but as soon as you get into sort of 65-70% range, they really start dropping off.
That's it. The tyres are under a lot of load stress throughout a lot of the lap as well, so that is only going to affect the degrading of the tyre, and even lead to possible spins for some of the drivers as well as they go later and later on the tyres. So taking big risks, anyone trying to get those mediums to the end. But if anyone could do it, I think Taylor can. One of the veterans of APPF1. And
He certainly can.
I've seen him do it before, so I wouldn't count him out.
I think Taylor and Bluey are definitely going to be doing the same strategy regardless. So whether they go to the end, and I think if Taylor's going to go to the end, Bluey will go to the end. So keep an eye on those Aston Martins, and also Rick, because I think he's going to try and do the same thing. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to have about 15, 16 laps to do on those tyres, which isn't that far out of the question, actually. It's going to be Mitch who's going to be struggling towards the end. So it's an interesting fight to watch. Haras is probably going to get past him almost immediately on those softs, but he's going to need to bring out a huge gap in that stint to come back onto the softs in the last stint and chase them down again.
Interesting. QB's peeled into the pit lane. I think he's going on the hard tyres. Yes, he is. Interesting call from the Alpine driver. Perhaps he knows that those mediums won't go to the end. So yeah, very safe decision indeed. I think the safety car may be finding its way back to the pit lane this lap, as QB is the only driver yet to catch up now.
Haras is going to have an interesting call to make here as the safety car comes in. Does he attack Mitch and really go to end this season with a bang, or does he sort of back off, wait for a safe overtake, perhaps lose out on a podium or the race win, but with the benefit of winning the championship at the end? So it's going to be interesting to see if he really goes for it, or if he plays it safe and keeps his championship in his hands.
It is an interesting call. I mean, he is a debutee in the championship in APPF1 as well, so he'll want to come in and really throw down the gauntlet for any challenges that will come in Season 2.
He's done really well this season. He missed the race in Abu Dhabi, but I mean, he's set three fastest laps this season. He should have won in Austria, but the only way to describe it is he bottled it in the last few laps and only managed to come in 7th in the end. But as the safety car comes in, he's going to be looking to get past Mitch as soon as he can and attack the track to try and get a good enough gap so that he can catch back up when he has to pit again, as Mitch slows down the field now.
Yeah, Mitch now becomes the effective safety car. Then he'll be warming up those tyres as he lets the safety car go off into the pit lane. He's going to back everybody up. So we're going to be watching this Haas driver. Can he defend from Haras? Will Haras choose not to attack? We'll see as we begin to get ready for the restart of this race.
I'm intrigued to see when Mitch will punch it here, because there's a lot of places you can do it. It's risky to do it just before the last corner because it's very easy to get a bad exit, so we'll probably see him punch it as soon as he's out of the last corner and he knows he's not going to end up in the wall.
Let's see now, navigates this last corner. And there he goes, he's punched it. Haras has got a fairly decent restart behind him as well. And he's already going to be on the attack, I think. No, Mitch is just about going to cover him off.
Watch Rick as well.
Oh, here comes Rick, is he? No, he's just going to stay there, although he does get a fairly decent run through the corner, but Haras on those soft tyres with the better grip manages to run away with it.
RJ Blair's got himself past Emiliano, or was that a safe... What's the word? Keeping a position there. I'm not sure, but they were side by side through turn 1.
Yeah, well, I did see the position change, but I was watching the battle at the front here. They're coming down to this hard braking zone that leads on to the first of the DRS straights. DRS won't be active, of course, As we've got a little bit of faces, gives himself another time penalty. We'll have a look at the time penalty situation in a minute, but Harass is going on the attack then. He's closing in the slipstream. Mitch defends to the inside. Is he going to look to the outside? Yes, he is. He looks to the outside. He's got the speed. He's going to try and go all the way around, but Mitch covers him off. But he goes for the switchback now. So Harass going around the outside of the next corner as they come along. They go side by side, a little bit close there. Not quite contact though, as Harass now switches the outside for the inside. And is this going to be the lead for Harass? Yes, it is. Harass gets up into the lead now and leaves Rick behind. Leaves Rick and Mitch behind now, as he looks to try and stretch his legs out a little bit. But those soft tyres will start to fall off fairly soon as we navigate the rest of this, well, the first few laps of this restart. Taylor under some pressure now from Pommy Alex in the McLaren. Faces has really dropped back. He's really lost out there. He lost a lot of positions in that safety, in that kerfuffle in the safety car. Emiliano's peeled into the pit lane as well on some soft tyres. Not too many laps to go then, so we'll have a look at penalties. So it's 3 seconds for Rick, Taylor, Pommy Alex, TTV Max, RJ Blair, 6 for Hephaestus, and 9 for Emiliano, as TTV Max gets himself another 3, going up to 6 now.
No penalties at the moment. Bluey as well, but he's never been a one to get many penalties. I'm surprised Taylor has one actually, because he's usually the same. But as Pommy Alex gets right up his back here, as they come into this twisty section at the end of Sector 2, Pommy Alex having a look around the outside. Now he can do the switch back pos.
Soft tyres doing a bit of work here, but a bit slidey from Pommy Alex. So Taylor runs away as they come through the fast right-hander. Looks like the Red Bulls are trying to chase down Bluey as well, a little bit further behind. Harass sets fastest lap for 134.7. As he's already pulled up the gap. There's been an incident. That's Taylor in the wall. It looks like he must have spun just as Sonic did. He's lost his entire front wing. That's going to ruin his race completely, as he's going to have to do an entire lap with no front wing. That is unfortunate for Taylor. Rick chasing down Mitch, who's struggling a little bit on those slightly used medium tyres. I don't know if you're speaking, Ghost, but all I'm getting is white noise. Looks like Rick's on the attack. Rick goes up right up the inside. Mitch tries to squeeze him as far as he can, but Rick claims the position. Mitch still got no penalties though, so Mitch with the upper hand at the moment. Rick's going to have to try and pull away if he's going to do anything. RJ Blair gets up in front of his teammate. There's a bit of a brawl going on back here with Bluey, Hephaestus and the Red Bulls.
Is this any better? Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you much better now.
Oh, excellent. Sorry about that.
Oh, the Red Bulls have had a bit of contact. Oh. Getting a bit too aggressive with each other. You need to calm it down, boys. You're a team. Work together.
Yeah, Hephaestus looking to take advantage of this as well, as they come through the final corner. Looks like Pommy Alex is losing time to Mitch now, who's gone very wide there. Just about missed Rick in the braking zone. He broke very late, and he's lost a lot of time as a result.
No, it's not going to help him. Rick can easily try and pull out a gap to minimise the effect of that penalty. Taylor, a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is really a bad race going worse.
Just adds to his woes, yeah. As Harass has now pulled out a 5-second gap to Rick already. He's really making those soft tyres work. And he needs, I reckon, around 12 maybe 12 to 15 seconds by the time he pits in order to have a good run for the final stint to try and get back past
Yeah, it'd
again.
be interesting to see where he comes out. Perhaps it'll be behind this little pack here fighting for 5th place.
Red Bulls?
Yeah, TTV Max goes past, the Faces goes past as well. Is the Faces going to look for a move on TTV Max as well? He has a little bit of a look, but he pulls out of it. RJ Blair tries to go round the outside, not quite getting it done. Is he going to look for the inside on the next corner? Oh, a little bit of contact there, not quite damaging enough, but catches himself out under braking. Bluey as well, he'll be looking to try and get away past these guys as they all start fighting.
Bluey, of course, the only one in this train without a penalty, so as it stands, he is in P5 anyway, but he's approaching them as they fight, so he's going to be licking his lips watching this battle going as RJ Blair right behind Hephaestus again. These hard tyre running cars battling hard here as TTV Max is now beginning to pull out a gap already. The gap from P1 to P2 now up to 6 seconds as Mitch is caught back up to Rick again on those aging mediums. So it's going to be a tough fight between them as RJ Blair still right behind Hephaestus.
Speaking of catching up, it looks like Pommy Alex is steadily catching up, but he's lost a lot of time just now through sector 2 there. So that is a shame. He was catching up a little bit.
And he's going to have to pit again, and he's going to end up all the way down in 8th or 9th when he pits. So that strategy to go on the softs under the safety car hasn't really worked for him. He's gotten caught up in this pack.
What I'm anticipating here is that Bluey could find himself on the final step of the podium as TTV Max and the Faces are now going side by side. Oh, was that Faces with a little bit of a slide? I think it was.
Yeah, they went side by side through the corner, but Hephaestus, I think, got a bit caught out by the camber. Because on some of these corners, it's so tempting to go for a switchback, but you just can't do it because the camber of the corner means that if you go too far on the inside, you are going to end up in the wall if you try and accelerate faster than the car ahead. So yeah, you've just got to be patient.
That's it. I remember one of the Friday races before we started the championship, I lost the car, but we'll leave that behind for the moment as RJ Blair looks for an attack on the Faces arm. He's going to go for it. He's going to go for a dive up the inside. Lucky to not go straight into the back of his teammate. That was very brave. I think Hephaestus saw that one coming and just let him go for it.
Yeah, that was a send, and good awareness from Hephaestus to see it coming. I don't think RJ Blair expected to send it there. He just broke later than the cars ahead and thought, uh-oh. I better get into this gap, and it's ended up with him getting an overtake, so it's worked out.
Be interesting to see what the gap is between the leader and the thing. Let's have a look. Interval gap. Here we go. So it's 20 seconds between Hephaestus and Harass at the minute. So Harass looks like he might come out in amongst this fight between the Red Bulls and Bluey and Hephaestus as the Red Bulls go side by side yet again. RJ Blair getting the better of his teammate and Max moving just before the braking zone, catching Hephaestus out a little bit there.
Bluey just watching and waiting. He can sense that something terrible might happen here, and he's going to be right there to pick up the pieces when/if it does.
It's a terrible feeling having that, being behind a group of cars really going for it, and just knowing that one lap they could very well come together and cause a major incident, but hopefully that doesn't happen. Mitch is now 3/10 off of Rick now, so he's really caught up after that mistake.
Yeah, he's making those medium tyres work now as the fresh ones start to drop off. This is the section of the stint where the tyres are going to be around about equal between Mitch and Rick, but it's towards the end that Mitch's are going to start dropping off much faster. So he needs to stay with Rick, because Rick, of course, does have a penalty. I'm not sure how many.
I think he's only got 3 seconds, as far as I could tell.
Yep. You're right, he's got 3 seconds, so Mitch just needs to stay with him to try and get that win, but of course Harass is the one to watch here. He's going to have to pit again, and it's going to be in the next couple of laps or so. So can he get those fresh soft tyres on and chase down the leaders? He's going to come out in hopefully P4 for his sake. He doesn't want to come out behind RJ Blair and be in with that battle, because that's a whole can of worms. But he wants to pit onto the fresh softs, chase them down, and get a lap record along the way as well.
That's it. I don't think he'll be able to, as much as he'll want to, I don't think he'll get those softs all the way to the end. I think they'll just be too horrible, as it looks like Taylor has had a bit of an off through Sector 1.
Oh no.
Horrible race for Taylor. Did he reset to track, or did the game do that for him?
It's probably the game did it for him.
Yeah, it looked like the game did it for him, but I don't know. But
Oh,
anyway, Mitch
Alex
and Pommy
and
Alex
Mitch.
have come in. Right, so they are going to be caught right at the back of this battle between the Red Bulls, Bluey and Hephaestus. So that is really going to be a bad sign for them. Rick could possibly be on for the race win here.
He could possibly. They've both come out on the softs, of course, but Mitch has obviously decided he's not getting those mediums to the end. But this is the benefit of having a strategist in your ear like they do in real F1, because the strategists would never have told their drivers to pit and come out behind a massive battle between 5 cars. So Mitch and Pommy Alex, well, Pommy Alex was going to pit anyway, but Mitch has been caught out there, and he's going to be right on the back of this car train and looking to get past. He doesn't have a penalty, which could help him as well, but yeah, it's going to be tough for him, and I'm interested to see if Harass is going to come in this lap as well, and if he comes out ahead of Max, because that could be huge. That's going to be crucial for his race win ambitions, as he does peel into the pits. So I'm fascinated to see where he comes out here.
Yeah, well, luckily for those guys, they're not battling as hard as they were a few laps ago, but it's going to be quite hard to cut through the traffic. And Rick could very easily just go into cruise control here and come out. But here we go then, Harass on his way out of the pits. Where is he going to come out? I think he might completely miss a lot of them.
He might well do. RJ Blair's just coming around the final corner. Bluey spun it!
Bluey
Oh no!
spun as well. A tragedy for both the Aston Martin drivers. Unbelievable.
Oh, he was going so well. He was
It's like a Hephaestus is going in on Max as well. Sorry to cut you off, Ghost. They're going side by side through turn 1. TTV Max managing to hold it around the outside. Hephaestus on those hard tyres, not quite having the grip to get past the Red Bull.
It's very close between them. They're back again, and Mitch is now on the back of them as well on those fresh, soft tyres. So Hephaestus has got to look in front of him and behind him now. Harass has come out 10 seconds behind Rick. He's got 6-7 laps to cut that down as Hephaestus gets himself another penalty as Mitch looks around the outside.
It's not quite going to get it there. It's not best corner, but he's going to get that switch back with a much better exit through the corner. And he's already got the position on Hephaestus. And he'll be looking to try and chase down TTV Max up ahead of him. He'll have the slipstream to try and do it. Will he have the speed? He's got the ERS. Max defends to the outside. He wasn't sure where to go, but Mitch has got the overspeed and just dives up the inside and gets 2 positions in the space of 2 corners.
Very well raced from Mitch there.
Now all Mitch has got to do is try and catch back up to RJ Blair up ahead. RJ's got 3 seconds of penalty, so all he's got to do is stay within 3 seconds of the driver at the end of the race.
Harass already down below 9 seconds, that gap to Rick. And of course Rick with his 3-second penalty, Harass only needs to gain another 5 seconds. 5.5 seconds, but he's gaining so much. That's a purple sector 3. He's gaining about 2 seconds a lap. He could be onto the Ferrari before the end of the race, never mind being within the penalty.
Yeah, that penalty looks like it might be very irrelevant. Let's see how we'll watch him over this course of this lap and see where that gap goes down to.
And Mitch is looking to get himself back on the podium as well. He's 1.6 behind RJ Blair, who's got himself at least 1 penalty. So as it stands, Mitch on the podium with a view to make up for what happened last week in Baku, where he was running 2nd place nearly the whole race, nearly got past KTFO at one point for the lead, but then had a mistake, had a spin, and had to pit and only managed to come in 4th in the end. So he was off the podium. He's looking to make amends for that now.
Sarcofaces, TTV Max, and Pommy Alex are all going to start battling. Faces gets the position. Pommy Alex is going to try and go for the dive, but Max late on the brakes. As he says, not today, Pommy Alex, you're not coming through. Not that easily. Pommy Alex is going to have to work for this one as he goes right around the outside. But Max still making sure that he can't get past him. This is going to be a bit of a nightmare for Pommy Alex to judge, but he tries to get that switchback. He's going to go around the outside. They're wheel banging enough. Don't have a bit of contact, guys. They've got very, very spicy. Max careening into the side of him again there. Come on, guys. Oh, Pommy Alex, they're going to keep going side by side. Max goes a little bit far off, but I think that's the position for Pommy Alex. Yes, it is. He's going to get up and he's going to try and go after a face arm, but TTV Max might go for it again. But that's not going to matter too much as TTV Max has got another penalty, and I think that's about 11 seconds he's got now.
12 seconds,
12
yeah,
seconds.
And Mitch has gotten past RJ Blair as well. And Harass within 5 seconds of Rick now. It's really spicing up towards the end of this race as Pommy Alex looks round the outside of Hephaestus into the S's. That's not going to work.
He is pushing him through this section. He did it the last lap as well. He is really pushing those soft tyres to the limit there. And these guys being on the hards or the mediums are really helping him out and trying to get up some positions.
He really is. And TTV Max, he's got 12 seconds of penalties, but he is over 12 seconds ahead of Bluey in 8th. So as it stands, Max on for his best result of the season. His only top 10 result of the season it would be. So he's driving really well today, the youngster, as Pommy Alex gets past Hephaestus on the straight pretty comfortably.
I'm just looking at the penalty situation at the moment. 3 seconds for RJ, 6 for Pommy Alex. So Pommy Alex will need to overtake and gain 3 seconds on the American driver, who I must say has had quite a good race for his home Grand Prix.
He has indeed. He's been... he didn't have the best qualifying, if I remember rightly, but he's come back in the race. He's onto a good strategy. He went on to the one stop, and it's worked pretty well for him onto the hards here. And it's just the penalty situation around here can change the race, and it looks like it's going to, as Harass now within 3 seconds.
And Tia has pointed out as well on the live chat that Rick has now got 6 seconds of penalties. So no matter if Harass gets past now, it's Harass's win.
Yeah, and Mitch is going to be looking at to get past Rick as well at this point. He's 10 seconds down. He needs to gain another 4 in the next 3.5 laps. Is that gap coming down? It's not coming down by much, but we'll have to keep an eye on that one as well, as Harass looking to close out this season with the full 21 points. He only needed to finish this race, but as it stands, he's going to get the race win, the fastest lap, and the APPF1 race lap record around this track. Not a bad day at all for the Mercedes driver.
No,
and don't forget the championship.
Oh yes, indeed. He's really picking up the accolades today. Is the Kiwi driver. TTV Max looking, but he's not really going to have much of an effect on the race. Trying to get positions.
Louis now 13.5 seconds down on the youngster. So as he dives down the inside there, contact.
That was incredibly aggressive. Faces is lucky to still be going in a straight line and not have any damage, I think.
He certainly is, and Max doesn't need to do that either because he's going to drop behind anyway. Maybe he anticipates Hephaestus getting another penalty, but that was audacious from the youngster, it has to be said.
It certainly was. Bluey's now 12.3 seconds ahead, so he could be looking to gain that position off of TTV Max anyway.
Yeah, as these two keep battling, Hephaestus down the inside into turn 1 as Emiliano gets himself another 3-second time penalty, but he is on to finish the race, I'm glad to report.
Don't jinx him now. There's 2 laps left to go.
It's alright. Even if he DNFs now, that's 90% of the race. He will be classified.
Oh, there's a yellow in Sector 2. Is that an Aston Martin off? That looks like Taylor off again.
Oh, no.
Really having a horrible race. The leaders are catching up to him now as well.
And Harass now within 1 second of Rick. What a drive it's been from the Mercedes driver. Some might say a championship winning drive. What a great race this has been, and he could cap it off by winning on track, not only on penalties. The gap to Mitch has pretty much stayed consistent, so it looks like Rick is going to be able to secure P2 if he doesn't make any mistakes, but I think that win is out of reach unless Harass bottles it, as he had a little bit of a slide out the penultimate corner just as I said that. So.
Very nearly cursed that then.
Yeah, I did.
It's like Taylor's coming to the pit lane. He might look to go for the fastest lap attempt, so he might rob that from Harass. But this is the battle we want to see. I know Rick's got 6 seconds of penalties, but that doesn't mean he's going to let Harass just pass him. Even though he's not going to get the on-paper victory, I'm sure he'll still take pride in getting that on-track victory.
Sorry, I can't help but laugh with Taylor. Oh my goodness. He is not having a good day. That's another 5-second penalty for crossing the pit exit white line.
Oh, Taylor.
Harass might have gotten a warning for that. He went a bit wide out of that corner, but it looks like he's still on no penalties. He is having a wonderful drive. And Mitch as well on for his maiden podium as he looks to lap the Aston Martin with DRS. But here comes Harass down the inside.
He's going to come down right down the inside. He's going to get the move done before the corner, so he just swoops ahead of Rick. Not quite the battle, but will Rick come back at him? I'm not sure he's got enough in those tyres. I think Harass has got the advantage there, and he's just going to run away with it and have a victory lap, as it were, on the last lap as they navigate sector 3 for the second to last time.
And huge news, Hephaestus has gotten another penalty, so he's now equal on penalties with Max. So that aggressive move from the Red Bull might well have gotten him P6 after all. As they're still battling, it's going to go down to the final lap here.
Yeah, Rick has a little bit of a slide. He manages to catch it though, but that means Harass is just going to run away with it. We'll keep an eye on Hephaestus and Max. And Hephaestus has dropped back a little bit. He's going to be looking to try and get that DRS as the leaders begin their final run around the circuit to close off this season.
What a season it has been. I'm just keeping an eye on Hephaestus. It's just... Oh, and Max goes very wide there. That's going to lose him a lot of time. Hephaestus looking to take advantage. They're both completely equal on ERS. Exactly 14% for both of them. As it's now down to 3/10. Hephaestus a little bit late on the brakes, but he's still just behind the Red Bull. It's going to be onto the straight. He's going to have DRS. Can he get past for P6? It's not going to be enough for P3 in the championship with Rick in P2 in this race at the moment, but he is going to be looking to get past the Red Bull as Max is on for his best result of the season.
Yeah, the youngster, not the most consistent of drivers a lot of the time, but like I said before, he does know how to defend. And perhaps he does get a little bit too aggressive, but sometimes it pays off if he can manage to stop the contact from happening. But Hephaestus is going to get the DRS then, but I'm not sure he's close enough to catch up to the Red Bull. I think this is going to be P6 for Max.
Yeah, I think he's just a bit too far back. He can't go for a send. Don't forget to turn your ERS off, Hephaestus.
And here we go then. Harass is navigating the corner for the last time. He's going to cross the line and become the first champion of the Tier 2 championship for APPF1. Well done to the Kiwi driver as he crosses the line. Rick put up a good race as well and he's got P2. Mitch coming along to grab his maiden podium of the APPF1 community. Taylor getting another 5-second penalty for an unserved penalty. RJ Blair comes across the line, P4. Good home race for him. Pommy Alex, P5. Let's see where TTV Max at the faces are. I think that's going to be Max's position.
Yeah, he's just about held it. No more penalties for either of them. So TTV Max gets 15 big points as Emiliano spins on the last lap, but he's still in the race. He is going to reach the checkered flag, I'm glad to say.
I don't know, there's still 2 corners to go. Anything could happen. This is motorsport.
Don't say that, Sumo. He's coming around now. Don't go in the wall. He's made it.
He's done it. Well done, Emiliano.
Yes.
Good points finish. Well done on that P9. And QB the last to come across the line in P10.
QB, he may not be the fastest driver, but oh my goodness, is he consistent. He has finished, well, apart from Austria, where I think there was a bit of an incident at the start, if I remember rightly, but that is a long time ago. He has finished every race, and as a result, He's going to be P5 in the championship, I think.
Not
As
only
Tommy
does
Alex.
Haras get the win, the championship and fastest lap, he also gets himself driver of the day as well.
Wow.
Absolutely dominant performance from the Kiwi driver.
A clean sweep.
Incredible. I always said this race was going to be a exciting one to close out the season, and it has. It's been one that has been followed along, preceded by a multitude of amazing races in Tier 2, and we've really put Tier 1 to their paces, I think. As we may not be the most competitive in Tier 2, but my God, do we put up some good races.
Oh, we really do. I'm so looking forward to next season, Sumo. It's going to be excellent. Hopefully we get more drivers on the grid to start the season, and we can have one heck of a start. It certainly was in Austria, and hopefully we can continue that.
Indeed, it was. The driver sign up opens up tomorrow, I believe, for all the members of the APPF1 community. So if you are watching and you think, Tier 2 might be the place for me, go ahead and sign up, get yourself a teammate perhaps, jump in the car. We'd love to see you on track, and we'd love to bring all the racing action with perhaps a full grid. It'll be the first time we have one for Tier 2, if we do get one.
I can't wait. What a race this has been. What a championship it has been. And it's been a pleasure to join you in the box today, Sumo.
And it's certainly been a pleasure to have you in the commentary box alongside me. We've avoided all the Freddo rubbish that Sweeney's left behind, so we'll be okay. But yeah, that's it. That is been the first season of the Tier 2 Championship for APPF1, and what a tumultuous one it has been. There's been ups, there's been downs, there's been spins, there's been DNFs, and there has been one hell of a championship fight. Well done to Ferrari for closing out the Constructors' Championship, and unfortunately for Jackalacco, he's lost the chance of becoming the Tier 2 champion, as Haras takes it at the very end with a dominant performance at the USA Grand Prix.
I think given Haras missed the race in Abu Dhabi as well, it's been a straight 6-race fight between them. So it's been a fair fight in the end, and Haras has come out on top, so all credit to him.
Indeed, we're not quite sure. I've not seen the calendar for season 2 yet, so I can't quite say what circuits are going to be on the calendar and where we're going to be racing this time next week. But I can assure you that we will be back at the same time on Tuesday, the 19th of October, as we get underway for the second season of Tier 2. Don't forget to also check out the other tiers of driving. We have Tier 1 starting season 3 on Friday, and we have season 5, the sprints. Is that this weekend? I think that's this weekend. It might be the weekend after.
So it's the weekend after.
Weekend after.
It's also if the Tier 2 race calendar is the same as the Tier 1 race calendar, then we're going to be starting off the first race of Tier 2 Season 2 at Imola. What a occasion that's going to be.
Is Tier 1 this? No, Tier 1 does start next week. Yeah, Tier 1 is next week, so all the racing action starts again next week. So as we are on a little bit of a break from the other seasons. But anyway, that's going to wrap up the stream tonight. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Big hand to Ghost for jumping in, as he will be alongside me for the foreseeable future of Tier 2. And we'll be giving Sweeney's a run for his money.
Let's do it, mate. I look forward to it.
Yeah, as do I. And one more time before I do say goodbye, please do go check out Positive Perception Media Design Products, as the liveries that he designs for. What?
GT cars.
GT cars, yeah. Those GT cars do look awesome. I've seen some of the grids on his Instagram, and those grids are incredibly colourful with some incredibly eye-catching cars. So please do go check them out. I have been Sumo.
I've been Ghost.
And this has been Tier 2. We will see you again next week for the start of a new championship. Ta-ra for now.